Hey everyone, and I am Haunting Girl, and I hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. For me, it is nighttime, obviously, and it is currently 11 o'clock exactly. So, my last video, if you guys didn't see it, obviously, creepy. Like, not the story, but the orbs flying around, and that one sound I heard. Like I said in the video, I'm thinking back, maybe it was a car, but I really shouldn't hear anything through these headphones, outside at least. So, I don't know what the frick that was all about. So, yeah, that happened. But anyway, we are back with our Washington DC tours. And there are a few places I'm thinking about talking about after DC. And I was going to go in order with all the states and everything, but that was just going to take forever, so I'm just going all over the place. Anyway, let's continue. Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. on 10th Street Northwest is one of the oldest stage theaters in the country. Today, as well as being a museum, it hosts a popular place for those appreciating the dramatic arts. And I have to admit, I've been there watching plays. I've seen Wicked in there, Phantom of the wait, no. Was it? No, never mind, that was the Kennedy Center. Scratch that. However, the theater has a dark cloud that still looms over the stage. It was the site of one of the nation's most tragic moments. At the time of its heyday, it was an entertaining recipe from the war that raged in the United States, the North pitting against the South. Many presidents visited the theater, but one president seems to be sticking around long after his untimely death. At the outset, the building that housed the theater was originally a church. It was constructed in 1833 and served as the meeting of house of the First Baptist Church in Washington until about Omenhia ruin ground. And if I pronounce that name wrong, I'm really sorry. As the pastor, it would remain the site of the church until 1861, when the congregation relocated to a much larger building. That same year, John T. Ford, a wild-eyed theater producer, decided to purchase the building and renovate it as the stage theater. The project was delayed due to a fire that broke out the following year. After the building, Ford's Theater officially opened to the public in 1863. President Abraham Lincoln, along with his wife Mary and two others, were watching a play titled Our American Cousin. Lincoln and his party were sitting in the presidential box on the night of April 14, 1865. 5 days prior to the Confederate forces had surrendered to the Union Army, thus ending the Civil War permanently. However, John Wilkes Booth, a noted actor of the time and convinced Confederate sympathizer, wanted to see that Lincoln would pay dearly for the Confederacy's defeat. He and a band of conspirators crafted an elaborate plot to revitalize the Confederate cause by kidnapping and killing 3 most important members of the United States government. It was part from Lincoln's death and unchecked failure. It was, however, the first successful assassination of an American president. Booth's role had him sneak into the president's box and kidnapped Lincoln. He lost his nerve or was interrupted in his plan. Instead, he had shot Lincoln in the head. To escape, he jumped from the box and hit the stage below, spraining his ankle while shouting, "Sic semper tyrannis," a short version of the Latin phrase. And before I continue, I'm not even going to try to say that because I don't know Latin at all. Thus, I always bring death to tyrants. He escaped the theater and was pursued in a 12-day mugshot, eventually being tracked down after a Maryland tavern owned by co-conspirator Mary Surratt and collecting weapons in Virginia during a shootout at Barrett's Farm on April 26, 1865. Meanwhile, at Ford's Theater, the fatality wounding the president was carried across the street and home of driller William Peterson, where Lincoln laid diagonally across the first floor bedroom, owning his height. The following day, Lincoln succumbed to his injuries as a result of Booth's attack. As the nation mourned, Booth was on the run for his life, as he was hiding in the Maryland woods. Some of the co-conspirators of the assassination were also arrested or shot on sight. One such conspirator was Mary Surratt, who owned not only the tavern where Booth sheltered, but a boarding home in Washington that housed Booth at one point in time. The boarding house where Mary Surratt still lived reverberates to her modern claim of being innocent, while all signs point to her guilt. Booth eventually crossed into Virginia via the Potomac River. However, he was later tracked down by the U.S. soldiers while taking refuge in the Garrett Farm near Port Royal, Virginia. One of the soldiers opened fire and struck Booth. Booth died later from his injuries. The eight conspirators of the assassination would soon suffer a similar fate. They were all either shot or tried and later executed by hanging. The theater was still standing after the assassination of President Lincoln, but no more shows were held. The government had operated funds to John T. Ford as part of the compensation for what happened at the theater. Soon, however, the United States Army took over the building in 1866. It was used for the purpose of storing records for the United States Department of War. The building also housed the Surgeon General's Library and the Army Medical Museum. About 20 years later, the records were relocated and the theater was later converted into an office of the War Department clerks. The theater would soon experience another tragedy. In 1893, when the front end of the building collapsed, resulting in the death of 22 War Department clerks and nearly 70 injuries. While there was no known cause, the curse of the building was blamed by many. The tragic deaths of so many did not help this location recover its reputation. This has been one of the many stories told in history enthusiasts with a person for the supernatural for many years. Eventually, the building was later restored and used as a warehouse up until the early 20th century. It was left abandoned for nearly a decade, but in 1928, No more department handed over the building to office, public buildings, and parks of the national capital. The tenants didn't waste any time with their plans to turn the first floor of the theater into a museum dedicated to Abraham Lincoln. It was opened in February 12, 1932, which was Lincoln's 123rd birthday. The following year, the Nation Park Service took over the sole control of the building. The renovation and restoration of the building to work theater and a museum were planned in the 1940s, but the project itself would take about 2 decades. In 1964, the restoration project was granted the funds. The project was finally completed in 1968. On January 3rd of that year, a gala performance was held. It was the first show of its kind since the Lincoln assassination more than a century earlier. Nearly 40 years later, the theater underwent another round of renovations and was reopened in 2009. Later that year, a celebration in honor of Lincoln's 200th birthday was held, featuring a long list of celebrities and featured remarks by the president, according to Barack Obama. According to one historian, it was said that Lincoln was having premonitions of an assassination attempt. He confided to a friend that he had a dream that he was walking inside the White House and noticed that he was surrounded by a mournful scene. In the dream, he encountered Morford and asked who had died, which the Morford replied, the president. However, this may have not been the only bit of paranormal activity that might have been related to the assassination. Lincoln's ghost may still lurk around the theater itself, angry and unfinished business at the unfinished business Lincoln left behind. It has been said that past occupations of the building reported feeling cold spots and even seen a shadow figure in a stovepipe hat walking around. Lincoln's spirit is one of the most mobile specters in history, having been sighted in several places key to the president's life, including the White House, which has its own ghostly sightings. Recounted by various occupants of the White House, with Eleanor Roosevelt being one of the first to report the presences. She also recalled seeing Fala, the family dog, barking for no apparent reason at a moving spot on the wall. Lincoln's presence inside the White House was also reportedly last seen by Maureen Reagan, the daughter of then President Ronald Reagan, at some point during the early 1980s. One such sighting of Lincoln's ghost was the British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, who was staying in the Lincoln bedroom during the presidency of Franklin Roosevelt. After completing a bath, Churchill left the tub and as was his habit, without any clothes on, to retrieve his cigar. Yeah, that's what I found. Yeah. While in the bedroom, he spotted what was apparently the spirit of Lincoln. With his patient wit, Churchill replied, Wait. I really hope that was just a reflection. I am literally seeing things now. My brain is losing it. Good evening, Mr. President. You seem to have caught me at a disadvantage. Nathan was said to have smiled in response before disappearing. Forest Theater to this day remains one of the most popular tourist attractions in the nation's capital. While it is infamous for one of America's most tragic events, the theater still honors America's 16th president. Does Nathan still pay an occasional visit to the president's soapbox that has been long vacant? Well, it's worth saying I met. So, Forest Theater, I really want to go there. I really can't remember if I had or not. If I had, it was probably a long time ago on a field trip from school. But then again, I don't know if I've been there at all. That would be really cool, and not just for the paranormal, well, probably mostly for the paranormal. How can I lie? And, but probably just for everything. And seeing where one of our persons was tragically killed, it'll be an eye-opener and everything else that has happened in our past. But yeah, I would actually like to go to the Forest Theater, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'll have to look up if there is any tours for the theater, if they do it for the public or not. Anyway, thank you for watching my channel and videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I am Haunting, and this is my channel. Until next time, pleasant dreams.